So welcome, students. Have you signed in, registered?
I think so. Were we supposed to?
Good, you're meant to. Okay, I'll do the register.
Let's go with yes.
Tom?
I am here. Yes, yes, sir.
Here, Mr. Seagull.
Okay, everyone's present. So, today's lesson is about probability tree diagrams. But first of all, what is probability?
The chance that something will happen?
Chance, I like the word chance.
It's a way of assigning a value to how likely something is. So it's like you have two things that could happen and you're like, is this one more likely or is this one? And like, that's kind of probability, like figuring out.
You're probably right.
Oh.
Do you like the fun fair?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who
Sometimes.
doesn't?
So,
Yeah.
who doesn't? So, we're going to play a very easy game. So I've got cards that I've prepared like Blue Peter. Prepared. Susan and Tom, your names on it.
Hello.
So who wants to play first?
Ladies first.
Oh,
Ladies
thank
first.
you very
Okay, so close your eyes. And I'm going to mix the order up.
much. Ouch.
Oh, sorry. And now you have to try and guess which pile this Susan is in. Have a look, open your eyes.
No.
So what's the chance of you getting that correct?
1 out of 2.
1 out of 2. Is she correct? Unfortunately not, you go home.
Oh.
Do I get a prize?
Yes.
Do I win or does she just lose?
You get a prize if you can tell me what's underneath this card.
It's got to be Susan. Assuming
what?
you haven't tricked us.
I'm a magician. So why do we know that had to be Susan?
There were two possible outcomes, each with probability of a half, and we knew it wasn't that one, so it had to be that one because that one had been ruled out.
Exactly. So now we're going to look onto the tree diagram aspect, and that's when we have one event followed by another event. So actually, I prepared more than one card. Look at this. Look at the magic.
Oh my goodness.
Look at this.
How many are we going to get?
How many Susans?
He's so
Four.
busy.
No, no.
Five. Okay.
5. How many Toms?
I'm going to guess 5. I hope there's 5. Unless we're...
There's going to be...
There's not, is there?
I'm going to have to leave now. There's 3 Toms. I'm sorry, Tom.
Okay, fine.
So 5 Susans and 3 Toms.
Nice.
So if, again, I turn them all upside down, mix them up, what's the chance of picking, let's say, Susan first of all?
5 out of 8.
Yeah. 8
5
total. I agree.
And then the chance of picking Tom.
It's got to be 3 out of the 8.
Yeah, so if we can actually represent this in something that's called a tree diagram. Susan and Tom.
Yeah.
Right.
So we said the chance of picking Susan was
5,
out of,
8.
okay, and the chance of picking Tom,
3 out of 8.
3 out of 8. So we could leave it at that, but no, this fun fair, so fun, that you get a second chance at playing the game.
Right.
So if we pick the Susan, let's say, so imagine we pick Susan,
Yeah.
Yes.
but then we put it back in the pile.
Oh, okay.
What's the chance of picking Susan a second time?
So if you put it back in,
Yes.
still 5
Yeah.
out of 8.
And the chance of picking a Tom?
Well, there are still 3 out of a total of 8, so it's the same.
So 3 out of 8. But imagine we picked Tom the first time round.
Yeah.
And then again, replaced it back.
Okay.
What's the chance of picking Tom again?
It's the same because we put it back.
Yes.
So it's still 3. There are still 3 Toms out of the 8 cards.
And the chance of picking Susan?
5 out of 8.
Okay. Where do you think we could develop this tree diagram? What information can we gather from here?
If you go twice, there's a chance of getting 2 Susans.
2 Susans, yeah. So these are the outcomes.
Yeah.
You could get a Susan and a Tom.
Tom, Susan, and Tom.
Tom.
Tom. Okay.
Sorry, GPS. We're not sponsored by TomTom or any brands, or Garmin.
Other brands available.
Other brands, all nondescript brands.
Sat nav.
So, if you pick Susan first time round and we put it back in, is that independent or dependent of that first event?
Independent because it doesn't impact it.
Because
we put it back,
Okay.
right? That's the key thing, yeah.
So we've got 5 out of 8 for the first event, 5 out of 8 for the second event. Because they're both independent, what do we do to the probability we're trying to work out the chance of getting 2 Susans?
Multiply.
Multiply.
Yes, multiply.
We said that together.
multiply.
That was cute. Jigs.
And this time I do want you to do some mental arithmetic. There's no calculators for this.
Oh, okay, yep, 5. So multiply the numerators. 5.
First of all, multiply the newtons.
The newtons. 5.
Hello.
8 times 8, 64.
Good. And then for Susan and Tom,
That will be 5 over 8 times 3 over 8, so that's going to be 15 out of 64.
this one, Tom and
Same,
Susan.
yeah.
That's
So
the same.
3 over 8 times 5 over 8.
Yeah.
Same.
And then the last one,
3 over 8 times 3 over 8, which is 9 over 64.
and as the final check, if you wanted to see that your probabilities were correctly calculated, what can we do?
The total has to be 1.
Yeah. Oh, yep.
Yep, and let's
The
see.
total has to be, yeah,
We do some addition. 25 plus 15,
40.
40,
40 plus 15,
55,
55 plus 9.
64.
Nailed it.
64
Nailed it,
64.
N64. All correct.
Oh,
That's your
good.
tree diagram.
A massive thank you, Bobby, for your great explanation about probability trees. It was really good to kind of see the diagram and see how it works. You focused on taking a name and replacing it. Sorry, so the probability sort of denominator stayed the same. I've got something from GeoGebra which is an interactive thing which shows what happens when you do not replace the thing you've taken and see how the probabilities change. Okay, so we need your phones. And then I think you should be able to see there's an image of a bag.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And inside the bag, what do you have?
Red balls and blue balls.
How many do you have?
2 blue ones.
And
I'm going to make it 7.
Yeah, no,
I think 7. Did you
Yeah.
get 7?
you got 7?
It's actually really hard to get.
Okay, so
7, yeah.
yeah, so you'll need to know this number, okay?
Okay, yeah,
So there's a thing that says show probability, make sure it's off. So I don't want you to show the probability. I want you
Okay.
to talk through how it works. Right, so can you see there's a slider which has step 0?
Yeah.
Right, so before we do the sliding, what are the options that we can have based on what Bobby told us? If we,
Well,
yeah.
We've got 9 balls total.
Mhm.
2 of them are blue. So do you mean like the probability of getting a blue one?
Yeah.
2 out of 9.
2 out of 9. What would the probability of getting a red one?
So there's 7
Out
red
of-
ones.
Yeah.
So 7 out of 9.
So if we scroll across, you should get 2 branches to your tree.
Yeah.
And if you keep kind of going a little bit, it will also show you the fact that you can have a blue or a red.
Oh, there we go.
See
okay.
that, yeah? And if
Yes.
you press show probability, it should say exactly what you just said.
Yes,
Yeah.
there we go. 2 9s, 7 9s, okay.
Yeah, there we go. Right, so now if you wanted to select another ball, what are the different options we can have?
So the top branch we've picked blue first.
Yeah,
So, but there's still another blue left.
Yeah.
So it's still blue or red.
still blue or red, and how many balls in total in that bag?
So there'll be 1 reduced because you've taken 1 out in
Yeah.
this case.
So our denominator now will be
8.
8, okay? And so now you've got denominator of 8 because 8 balls in total. What's the probability of taking 1 blue out?
That's going to be 1 out of 8. If we've already taken a blue.
Excellent.
So on that top branch, yeah.
It should be 1 out of 8, and then for the bottom branch of that first part, it should be then 7 out of 8. If we look at the second part of that branch, if we took a red out, on the second part, what's the probability of picking a red?
So we still have 8 as a denominator
Yeah.
because we've now taken 1 away.
Yeah.
But the reds have also reduced here, so
And it's reduced by how much?
We've taken 1 red. We started with 7, so 6. So 6 out of 8.
Right, and then for the blue, if we were to pick a blue once you've already picked 1 red.
so now there's only 1 blue left, and there's 8 in total.
No, there's 2 blues.
There's 2 blues.
Oh, I
This
misread.
is taking the red on the first one. So if we're taking a red first, there's still 2 blues. That one hasn't changed. So there's 2. 6 out of 8 for the reds and 2 out of 8 of blue.
For the blue, yeah. Your tree diagram should sort of show that.
Yeah, we've got blue, 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 red, red, blue, red, red.
Yeah.
Nice.
And with this, you can change the number of balls in total. If you look at the top, you can scroll and make your ball total less. Can you see that?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you can also change the number of blue balls as well.
Yeah.
And you can play around and see what differences there might be there.
Very fun.
Yeah? So something to kind of mess around with. And this is when you're not replacing.
Awesome.
Cool.
Hello, class.
How was that?
Thank you, Mr. Seagull, for introducing us to probability trees. I'm going to take your fantastic lesson. I'm going to turn it to an application of the FA Cup quarter-final draw.
West Ham are in it, yeah.
Unfortunately, I feel like if I didn't put West Ham in it, you would probably leave the classroom. So I have made sure West Ham are going to be in the draw. So we're going to have 8 teams because it's the quarterfinals. So we have my team, Man U. We have Man City.
Oh.
You know, they're probably going to be
Yeah,
there, let's be
be in
honest.
there.
We're going to then also have Liverpool.
My team.
Ooh, you'll never.
Let's have West Ham. Let's have Everton. I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yes, fine.
Who else can we have? Let's have Tottenham.
Yeah, that's
You always have. You always
Yeah.
need to bottle it.
Let's have
yeah.
Arsenal.
And you probably need the other
And
ones.
The 8th one is going to be Newcastle.
Oh, controversial!
Chelsea didn't make it.
No, Chelsea lost earlier to Man City.
Okay.
They got a
Oh.
bad draw in, in the
Okay,
round
fair enough.
16.
Yeah, fair
So we've got our 8 teams.
Mm-hmm.
And what we want to do is we're going to do the FA Cup draw. So you draw a home team first, and then you draw the away team. What we want to know is what is going to be the probability that a team from the northwest of England
Ooh.
plays a team from London.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, right.
So that is the question.
Right.
So, looking at the 8 options that we have, going to test your football / geography knowledge.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many of these are from the northwest?
Well, I can definitely see 3.
3?
I can see 3 in the northwest. 1 sort of the northeast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Am I right?
Yeah.
There's definitely one from the northeast. Newcastle are very much from the
They're
northeast.
northeast, yeah.
And then
Should
we've
say
got
northwest is Manchester.
yeah.
You.
Oh,
Manchester.
I ignored Manchester United, you know that?
So you're just doing this to wind me up.
No,
We have
I was like,
4 teams from the northwest.
yes. I've
We
got
have
that.
3 teams from London. West Ham, Tottenham,
Chelsea,
Arsenal, and
yeah.
1 from the northeast.
You
So-
confused me.
Yeah.
When we draw our first team, we have actually here 3 possible options.
Right.
We can have a team from the northwest, a team from London, or the other one.
From the northeast. Other. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so we've got, so this one is going to be the northwest, this is London,
LDN.
and this is other.
Other.
Other. I couldn't think of it.
Yeah.
Other. Okay, so for the first team that we draw,
Yep.
how many of them are from the northwest?
4.
So what is the probability?
4 out of 8.
4 out of
Yes.
8 that we draw team from northwest. London?
There's 3 teams.
Out of 8.
Yeah, exactly. So it's going to be 3 out of 8. And then other?
1.
Just
Out of
1
8.
left, which is Newcastle, exactly. Right. So, remembering what we want to calculate,
Mm-hmm.
the probability we have northwest versus London. So if we draw other,
We're out.
can we, exactly, good.
Yeah.
We can't, there's nothing we do, can we draw because it's 2 teams in a match?
Yeah.
It's not going to happen in this fixture we're creating.
Right.
So this one is just put a cross, we don't.
Woman though.
But if we draw a northwest team for the first one,
Yeah.
now what options do we have
Northwest or London. Or
for a successful one? But
was it, yeah.
we
Oh.
could also draw the other. So we've got another 3 again, haven't we,
Yeah.
Oh, we
3
could. Oh,
branches.
of course. Yep.
of our tree.
Mhm.
So if we've drawn a northwest team, how many northwest teams are left?
3.
3. So this is different to Bobby's example because we're not replacing
Yeah.
the names this time. The FA Cup draw, once you're out, you're out.
Yeah.
So here there are 3 left, and how many out of
7.
7? Because again we've already drawn 1 team. So
And that's
3 out of 7 are
The
northwest.
Northwest.
London,
Because you only picked Northwest on the past, so you've still got 3 London left.
But now there's 7 teams. already.
Yeah.
out of the
So 3
7.
out of 7.
And other.
1 out of 7.
So I'll just label that as N, L, and O. So
Cool.
we just remember which one's which.
Mhm.
And then this one's already dead, so we don't care about that one. But then here,
Yeah.
we've got a London team,
Yeah.
so we're still alive.
Yeah.
The what thing we want to calculate. So we've got 3 possibilities again.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to get a northwest team, how many are left, Bobby?
There are still 4.
There's still 4 out of
7 now.
perfect. Susan, London.
Taking one already, so there's 2 left
Yeah.
out of 7.
Perfect. And then Newcastle are still there. They're always still there. Right, so that is pretty much it. So which ones are we interested in?
We want Northwest versus London.
Yes.
Alright, so the first one you pick a Northwest and then you pick a London, so it's 4 over 8 and 3 over 7.
So this one
So
would work.
NL, yep.
And you told me that was 4 out of 8 times 3 over 7.
Boom.
Perfect.
Yes.
Can we, if we pick a Northwest here, is there anything else that we can happen?
To get what you want.
Mm-hmm. No, exactly. These two, because that would be Northwest against Northwest or Northwest against other. That's not Northwest versus London. Good. Now, Bobby, we picked a London. Maybe it's West Ham.
Yeah, it is.
We now need a Northwest team.
We don't want Man U, we don't want Man City, we're struggling now. We'll go, it's going to be 4 out of 7.
Yeah,
3
so
8s and 4
this one,
7s.
isn't it? So we need 3 out of 8. So this is the tick. Times 4 out of 7. And can any of the other two give us the fixture
no,
we
they
want?
wouldn't, so we'd cross
They
them.
wouldn't, so we cross those out. So, what is going to be our total probability?
So it'd be 4 over 8 times 3 over 7. So 4 times, so the numerator is 4 times 3 is 12. And 8 times 7
Is
56!
Nice. And then that one, Bobby?
3 times 4 is, I hope it's still 12.
Hopefully.
and 8 times 7,
It's still
yeah.
56!
So our total probability,
All put them together.
put them together,
24 over
56.
56! Alright.
which is equal to...
We'll cancel.
Oh, can we cancel?
Yeah?
I think we can.
Yeah.
Divide by 2.
Divide by 8.
Oh, you're jumping, you're
Sorry.
Divide
jumping.
by 8, can't we?
Yeah. So 3 over
Fancy.
7!
So the probability in our FA Cup draw of a London team playing a Northwest team is
That's
Ah.
what I mean.
almost half.
Almost.
Almost.
half based on the...
Oh, that's a real nice application right there. I like it.
I think West Ham will still lose that.
I know, yeah. Okay.